Join a club like your longevity depends on it.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by the full-time Plus Flex MBA program at Indiana University's Kelley School, the only 2-year program of its kind. More at go.iu.edu/KelleyFlex. And by Progressive Insurance. Progressive is looking for individuals who want to join an inclusive and unique culture. More information, including application, at progressive.com/careers.
I'm David Brancaccio. First, there's word developers started work on 0.5% fewer new houses and apartments in September. This is the housing start statistic that you hear. Strange as it may seem, interest rates have gone higher and higher in the month since the Federal Reserve cut its short-term rate 0.5 percentage point. What is going on here? Marketplace's Nova Safo explains.
Mortgage rates had been on a downward glide path since July. The average rate on a 30-year fixed home loan fell almost down to 6% just before the Fed cut its benchmark rate in mid-September. That's because investors were anticipating the Fed's move. They bought up 10-year Treasury bonds, which in turn sent yields lower and pushed down mortgage rates. But in the last few weeks, there has been a string of positive economic data, which suggests the Fed's cuts will be slow and steady. So the bond market is readjusting expectations for where benchmark rates will be in the near term. There's been a sell-off in bonds, sending yields higher, and with them, mortgage rates. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
Stocks S&P futures are up 0.2%. NASDAQ futures are up 0.6%, but Dow futures are down about 0.2%. Now, with the reminder that correlation is not necessarily causation, this week California enacted a new law, unpopular with oil companies, to make gasoline refineries there hold a strategic supply of gas to even out prices. Well, now Phillips 66 of Houston announced it will close its Southern California refinery by next year, a place that made 8% of California's gas. The company says the move was not related to the recent refinery law.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, aiming to help save time by offering smart business buying solutions so there's more time to focus on growing the business and less time doing the admin. More at AmazonBusiness.com. And by How We Survive, a podcast from Marketplace. Kai Risdahl explores the fight against climate change. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Is it wrong to get choked up, moved by a documentary about social capital? There's a film making the rounds that pitches a solution to so many of our problems if we just join clubs like we used to. The shorthand is we used to join bowling leagues and we now bowl alone, and that's a problem. This proposition and the supporting data springs from this Harvard professor, Robert Putnam.
Look, America doesn't have to be the kind of America that you've lived in your whole life. I want America to change. I want America to get better. That is not an act. I really do.
The doc, which hits Netflix today and is still showing in community theater screenings here and there, is called Join or Die. It opens with a no-nonsense Texan named Tommy Wright in search of something after losing his brother. It's not a motorcycle club he joins. It's a local lodge of the Helping People in Need group called Odd Fellows.
I have nothing but lodge tattoos on this arm. I have the heart in the hand. That's the crossed gavel. Without divulging too much, they all do have some significance as far as the way that we try to choose to live our lives.
The argument is you can join just about anything. I belong to a high-powered model rocket club, but it could be a house of worship, the PTA. Just get off the couch and join already. Academics in many fields find the join a group idea persuasive. Here's a clip from the doc from Brown University economist Glenn Loury about solving deep problems in society.
Equal opportunity will not be enough here. You must address the social isolation and find ways of integrating more effectively. Ending discrimination is necessary, but not sufficient to the task at hand.
Joining us now here are the co-producers and co-directors of the Join or Die documentary, Rebecca and Pete Davis. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
So glad to be here.
What kind of club works?
Well, one of the wonderful things about Putnam's research is that any type of social interaction, even what is apparently on the surface a goofy type of social interaction like a bowling league or a pickleball game, is doing really serious work. So when we use the term club in this film, we're using it kind of as a shtick to run the gamut of all types of ways that people come together. So it can be just around hobbies and things you love like bowling, pickleball, pottery. all the way to religious congregations, to labor unions, to activist groups coming together, to neighborhood associations. And what Putnam has shown through his research is that in all of those settings, even the ones that are not explicitly about politics or good government, social capital, bonds of trust and relationship is being built up. And that can be converted into a bunch of good things: better public health, more economic growth, more economic equality, better functioning government institutions, and overall satisfaction among a people about how things are going. We mean club in the broadest sense of the term.
At this juncture, I should explain. I mean, the join is clear, but what's the or die proposition here?
You know, joining is good for our democracy. And then it's also important on a health level. You know, and we have people like the Surgeon General coming on to speak to the health implications of our loneliness and isolation crisis that we're living through right now. Some people have said that, you know, the title rubs them the wrong way. It's a little provocative, but we really do feel the stakes are that high right now, both for our personal health and for our democracy.
We're yearning for something that's missing. We really are. And after pandemic, all the more so. I think that's one of the reasons that I found it so moving, thinking about a way forward from this isolation so many people feel.
Yeah, you know, this is a movie that's about really big questions like the fate of our democracy, but it's also a really personal story in all of us. Our favorite type of feedback that we get about the film is not that I learned something from the film. It's that someone comes up to us and they say, well, it made me think about my own town, or it made me think about my own club life. And the wheels started turning in my mind about how I can be more involved. And that's our real hope. We wanted this film to be in the second person.
Rebecca Davis and Pete Davis are the producers and co-directors of the documentary film Join or Die. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Their film is rentable on Netflix, starting today, in fact, or you can see it in person as a group. For more about setting up a community screening, there's a link at marketplace.org. And we watch a documentary a month for Econ Extra Credit. Sign up for our souped up all-in-one newsletter through marketplace.org/newsletters. I'm David Brancaccio. We are from APM, American Public Media.